Hi, I'm Scott Sheldon, and welcome to this episode of Winegazer. Thank you so much for tuning in. So for this episode, for this time of year, I thought it was only appropriate to do a little wine and chocolate pairing episode. That's right. I know some people say you can't pair wine with chocolate, it's too sweet, yada yada yada. Well, allow me to retort. I disagree. I'm going to show you a classic wine and chocolate pairing that you're going to thank me for after you try it. So let's start with the wine. We have a 2005 Domaine de la Casa Blanca Banyuls. And Banyuls is an AOC located in the southern part of France in the region known as Languedoc-Roussillon. And these vines, they're mainly old Grenache vines, in this case for this wine Grenache Noir, that are grown along the terraced vineyards of the Pyrenees Mountains, which basically border Spain. So this is like Mediterranean climate, close to the Mediterranean Sea. This is brought in, by the way, Charles Neal Importers, great importer of French wine. $28 is suggested retail. And it's interesting, 16% alcohol. These wines, you know, they're fortified wines. They have a little bit of grape brandy added to them. And a little bit lower in alcohol compared to like a tawny port, which is usually like around 20% alcohol, for example. So it's basically, you know, after the brandy's added, the grapes are allowed to macerate for a couple weeks, and then the wine is actually aged in Bordeaux barrels, which is kind of unusual for this region, for the typical Banyuls style fortified wines. And this producer, they are one of the oldest in the Banyuls AOC. Another look at that bottle, and again, Domaine de la Casa Blanca. So let's give this a pour. Excited to try it, and again, it's supposed to be, in some cases, reminiscent of like a tawny port. But I'll be the judge of that. Nice garnet in color, and you can see there's really no color variation right along the edge. It's dark all the way through. Tinge of brown. Let's give it a smell. So wonderful dried fruits like fig, dates coming through, a little bit of raisin action. You can smell the wood coming from those Bordeaux barrels, some spices coming from that wood. Nice cinnamon, also some cocoa as well, some nice chocolate. And there's also like molasses and a little bit of toffee coming through. So pretty complex nose on this wine. And a tiny bit of a dusty characteristic also that's kind of intriguing, something I wouldn't really be expecting on a dessert wine. So let's give it a taste. Wonderful flavors of baked black fruits like plums and blackberries. Very nice sweetness to this wine. It's not syrupy. It's not as syrupy as a lot of the ports that I've had, which is interesting, which could be good or bad depending upon your preference to that sort of thing. Let's give it another taste. Yeah, you know, I like the lightness to it, and I like it has a really nice mouthfeel, coating the tongue, and this finish, it's still going on. You know, it's 15 seconds now, 20 seconds, still lingering, nice, sweet, dark fruit, starting to fade now. Really nice. So now let's talk about the chocolate. So my pick for the chocolate, green and black, 85% dark chocolate. One of my all-time faves. Taste of the wine, and then a little taste with the chocolate. Wonderful chocolate. not too sweet, you know, a little bitter, some smokiness coming through, creamy. A little bit of coffee flavors as well coming through on the chocolate. Now let's taste the wine with it. Wow. It's really interesting the way that, you know, you taste the chocolate and then you taste the wine, the fruit flavors rushing through onto your palate, kind of converging with the chocolate. And it actually reminds me right now of like a chocolate raspberry croissant that I get all the time at Whole Foods. This combination of just kind of baked fruit and chocolate. Wow. And then, and now you can just taste the chocolate. The wine is kind of gone from your palate and you're left with the flavors of the chocolate. And neither one really overpowered one another. Really nice, harmonious pairing. Let's give it another sip of the wine. So this is really great. The way they, the sweetness of the chocolate, it really matches well with the sweetness of the wine. And the levels of flavors, they're really harmonious. Really like if you set your EQ, you know, your equalizer, got all the treble and bass, everything is just working perfectly. This is the way this pairing works. So again, I recommend you check this out. Green and black, dark, 85% chocolate, and a nice Banyuls wine. I guarantee you'll not be disappointed. So, let's score up the wine, by the way. I'd say 89 points. I'm going on the wine. Really lovely, beautiful, sweet fruit flavors. Not too syrupy, like I said before, which I really appreciate. And I also appreciate the lower alcohol content. I think, you know, sometimes after, you know, a big dinner, you've had a lot of wine already. You want a little bit of dessert wine. Maybe you don't want something that's, you know, 20% or more. So, I hope you like the show, and I would love to hear from you. What's your favorite chocolate? You like the Reese's, you know, you like the dark stuff, you like the milk chocolate, the white chocolate? Let me know. I'd love to talk about it. Scroll down below, the comment section. It's free, it's painless, let's do it. So until next time, cheers.